Oh my god, it's time for yet another installment of the Trash Trilogy. Now, I took a little break from the John Waters movie just because I had to refresh my palate a little bit. I was doing a lot of it. So, we're back. We're talking all about Desperate Living.
Desperate Living. It isn't very pretty.
Now, this movie has a few things up with it that people might not gravitate towards right away. Let me just get started by saying Divine is not in this one. Divine was busy in San Francisco doing the Neon Women, as well as Women Behind Bars. She's in a plays back to back, so she was not involved with Desperate Living. John Waters wanted her in it, but unfortunately she was committed to other projects, and he had a movie to make, so he had to move on and recast his part. And who should ascend from the ranks but Miss Susan Lowe? Now, Sue Lowe, you might recognize her from Female Trouble. She played the receptionist, like beautiful receptionist, the big bouffant hair and everything, and the super thick Baltimore accent. Yes, she was upgraded from background character to a starring role, the Divine role. But this movie truly stands out in a way that it's pushing a lot of the people that usually are supporting characters into the front lines, okay? The troops are assembled, it's time to pick it up, you're here, all right? You're the ones that have to carry this film. And the one that carries it most, our star, is Mink Stole.
It's like war! Don't tell me I don't know what Vietnam is like!
Yes, the legendary Mink Stole. This is the biggest role she's ever had in a John Waters movie. This whole movie is basically about her journey. And her, honestly, villain's origin story is what it is. She plays Peggy Gravel, who is a neurotic woman who is just returned from the sanitarium with her husband, who is just overwhelmed with her. She has an overweight maid that is her confidant, but honestly, Peggy is a piece of work. Anything will set her off. The famous scene that has since gone viral on TikTok and Instagram is the scene where kids are playing baseball in the front yard and they throw a baseball through the window. Peggy sees it and flips out and just starts screaming at the kids. Go home to your mother. Doesn't she ever watch you? Tell your mother I hate her. Tell your mother I hate you. Yes. This isn't some communist daycare center.
I hate the Supreme Court!
Oh my god, Mink Stole in this movie is unhinged. You're gonna love her. She has a foot cast on or something and she walks with a cane. She has so many character choices happening in this movie. And you could see her maid Griselda is just up to here with her. But Peggy's husband confronts her and starts going at her, and Griselda thinks he's attacking her when he's really trying to console her. And they basically knock him to the floor and Griselda smothers him to death with her ass. But before this, Griselda was caught stealing toilet paper. She was stealing silverware and toilet paper from the house, which, of all things, the toilet paper, I would take that too if I worked for a rich family. I get it. Times are hard. But yeah, she smothers him to death with her ass, and now there are two women on the run, or as Griselda calls her sister in crime. Griselda is played by Jean Hill, who was quite the find in John Waters movies. She would later make appearance in Polyester. She's the sister of the church who flattens the tire of the punk when they're playing racist polo. Yes, that is Griselda, but she's also got a huge role in this. And Jean Hill, a lot like Edith Massey, would go on to have a career outside of John Waters films as a postcard model, where she modeled for very obscene, lewd postcards, where it's the big joke is a big fat lady is here dressed really skimpy. This is the gal of your dreams, that kind of stuff, those kind of postcards. But they were a big hit. Her and Edith Massey had a huge success with these things. They made a lot of money. But in this film, Griselda and Peggy are on the run. And where do you go when you have to lay low? Well, Mortville. And this is where this movie takes kind of a weird parallel, multiverse kind of stance. As far as John Waters movies goes, it's the most fantastic and the most fantasy driven, where it's sort of they drive into Wonderland. You're so overwhelmed and you're so mortified that you're almost transcended into a different kind of dimension inside of Baltimore called Mortville, a small man-made town where every criminal goes to lay low. Somehow every person in this town has a story. It's a town without pity, and they are all walking around just mortified, hence the name Mortville. And it is run by a tyrant, Queen Carlotta.
Seize her and fuck her!
Who worships tyrants. You look at all the people on the walls, it's Hitler, Idi Amin, known tyrants throughout history, Mussolini, portraits of them are all on the wall. Van Smith did his big one. This castle, you wouldn't be able to tell, but it's very well done and very ornate considering they had a shoestring budget for this thing. They did not have a huge budget for it whatsoever. but he managed to like string her along some magic, and all this stuff is like man-made material. And the populace of the town, which John Waters admitted he would never do today, was they basically got a school bus and found as many people they could, like homeless people and stuff, carted them all to this remote place in Baltimore and just left them there. And they were basically populating Mortville. Now, when they reach Mortville, they need a place to stay, and they rent a room from Mole Mckenry, played by Susan Lowe. Now, Susan Lowe is in the divine role. Mole Mckenry is a very butch, bull lesbian, all right? We're talking like butch. And she's got like real nasty like acne scars on her face that have like pox on them, so it's like she smiled too much, they might pop and explode. That's the way John Waters described the makeup they were supposed to give her. It's like if you never wanted her to smile because they'd just pop. And this is based on a woman they knew that worked at a bar in Baltimore, where that was the same thing that happened with her, where you never want to make her smile. She always looked like really mean and nasty because you get an explosion and you don't want that to pop on you. That was what she's inspired by, along with a stripper named Zorro, who was a very butch lesbian stripper who John Waters said looked like Johnny Cash. And her big motif was that she would come out nude and say, "What the fuck are you guys looking at?" Like that was her thing. But this is who Mole Mckenry is based on. She's played by Susan Lowe, and this was going to be a very challenging role for Divine because he essentially had to play a butch lesbian as opposed to like a very glamorous gal like he did the last two movies with Female Trouble and Pink Flamingos. So it's going to be a nice stretch of a character for him. And honestly, one of his last starring roles before Polyester, and he would start getting smaller roles in his films. But I have to say, Susan Lowe really eats it up in this. Like, she's hamming it up. She's having a good time. And she is truly sinking into this character. Like, she's so nasty and so mean that it really is, like, off-putting. And you really don't like her.
Yes, sir!
She has a soft spot. And that soft spot is the legend of burlesque, Liz Renee.
Starring Hollywood sex goddess Liz Renee.
Now, there is a story there. Let's talk about it. Liz Renee rose to prominence in the world of exotic dancing, but before that, she kind of like bounced around here and there doing odd jobs until she eventually met the gangster Mickey Cohen and eventually became a gangster's mole. She was known to be a gangster's girlfriend, and she ended up engulfed in all this all the scandal involving his death and all the mobsters. They wanted her to name names, and she didn't. And she ended up going to jail because she lied in the stand. She perjured. And she later admitted in her books that like she did this because she was scared for her life. Like she knew if she said anything, she would be murdered. So she knew you can't snitch. You got to take it the L and just go to jail. That's your only way out of this. And when I mentioned she wrote books, baby, did she write books? My First 1,000 Men, Staying Young. And let me see, what are the other ones? I have them all here. Let's see. My First 2,000 Men, I stand corrected. I lessened it by 1,000 and she would not appreciate that. My First 2,000 Men by Liz Renee. It is a page turner. And check out that back. She knew sex sold, okay? But honestly, my favorite of her books would be her autobiography, which I mentioned before, which is very good as a page turner. Pick it up if you can. I think it's actually been reprinted a few times, so you can get it pretty inexpensively. It would be My Face for the World to See. And this one's a little beat up. You can tell I've taken it everywhere. I love this book. The intimate story of the woman who was called the most beautiful girl of our time. And was actually perhaps the most beautiful woman of our time, which, you know, modesty is important. Oh, this one's worth looking at. Let's pull it out. Why not? How to Attract Men. And it says stuff like, you know, be naked, have a bar by your bed. She is a trip. Like, honestly, dig into Liz Renee's backstory. You won't be disappointed. My one gripe that I really wish I had in life was one of her paintings. She would do these amazing self-portrait paintings of herself in her later age, where it's like beautiful, like nymphet kind of women. They're all like self-portraits of her, like multiples of her. Like you'll see her like running naked in a field in a fantasy. I wish I had one. There are a bunch of them before. I think one went up for auction back when I was living in Milwaukee years ago, and it sold for like $500. Which I'm like, bitch, if that happened today, I would have bought that. I would have splurged. I would have splurged for that. Okay, that's iconic. But yes, the burlesque star Liz Renee making her comeback performance in Desperate Living. I should mention like the intro to this film. We have to talk about it. So. The intro of this film is very, very controversial because it is a dead rat on a table being served up and a woman basically carving into it with a fork and knife. Like, carving into it like she's eating the dead rat and drinking wine. This was actually filmed in one of John Waters' friend's apartments, and he apologized for the rest of his life because his friend told him, like, they filmed it privately. He's like, you have no idea what that smelled like. It was literally a street rat that they had found dead and put in the oven and cooked. And he's like, it was ungodly, the smell. Like, it stunk up the apartment for months. Like, people thought there was a dead body in there. And it became a controversial poster of the dead rat with a bite taken out of it, right? And this is now the Criterion's re-release, which honestly I think is the most powerful image for the film. Like, this is the one you need. I had the DVD where it's a picture of Mckenry and Muffy, and it's not as good. Like, this with the rat really truly symbolizes the art that is Desperate Living. Now, there's so much to cover in this movie that I don't want to spoil too much, but we have to just talk about it. Like, it's a discussion at the end of the day. Like, Edith Massey playing Clean Carlotta is everything. Like, her being carried to the land by all these, like, muscular Tom of Finland leather men, and she's just, like, on this chariot, like, waving at people like, hi, stupid. Hi, ugly. To which John Waters said later on in life, like, that's how they would greet their friends if they drove past them. But Edith Massey is chewing this up. Like, there's a bird in her window like it's a Disney movie, and she tries to give it a piece of pizza. Little choices like that. And as well as Mary Vivian Pierce is also in this movie. She plays Princess Cuckoo. And she has a tendency to get nosebleeds, and she has a pillow she's constantly dabbing her nose on, a nosebleed pillow, as a princess would have. And this is honestly one of her craziest roles, and a smaller role considering like what she had played before in the past. Like, she usually had a lot larger roles. This one, you could tell she took a step back, and the other Dreamlanders are really going front and center. But Mckenry and Muffy are on the rocks right now because Muffy misses having a man in her life. Like, she's bisexual and she wants a man. She misses it. And Mole is planning to get a sex change operation to have something implanted on her so that she could please Muffy the way she should be pleased.
I'm a man, Muffy. A man trapped in a woman's body.
And Muffy is actually a criminal on the run because she's known as the dog food murderess. When a girl was babysitting her child, she put her baby in the refrigerator where Muffy found him, and the kid was okay, but she ended up confronting the girl and smothering her to death in dog food. Like, she put her face in dog food and then ran away. And as well as Susan Lowe's character, Mckenry, is a lady wrestler that ended up killing one of her opponents in the ring, which kind of reminds me of like that old story from wrestling. I wonder if John Waters knew about this when he was writing this. Like, there was a story of like a women's tag match that happened in the 1950s with like Mae Young and Ella Waldeck, and I think it was Buddy Lee's daughter, where she had some kind of like condition happen where she was struck too hard and no one knew she had this pre-existing condition, and she ended up falling out of the ring and dying. And it became a huge scandal, and they were going to charge the other tag team with murder when they didn't know she had this pre-existing condition. But yeah, like, I wonder if he knew about that, because I always wondered if that's what he's referencing with this, because he always mentioned he was a big fan of wrestling in the 50s, because it's like some of the first experiences of camp, like people like Gorgeous George and people like that, you know? I'm curious. I do wonder. I do, in fact, wonder. Definitely check it out because, like, the town they made in this, like, this homemade town is so bizarre and so weird. Like, it's just completely made out of trash. And people just walking around looking like, oh, like, mortified. They can never return. You can never go home anymore. This, honestly, is kind of a bummer ending for a John Waters movie. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you probably won't enjoy this one too much. It's definitely an art film, and it's definitely a statement, but it is John Waters' most morbid movie he's ever made. Like, it ends on a very sour, somber note compared to his others, which, who knows, maybe that's just like a testament to where he was in his life or something, but like, yeah, it's kind of a bummer ending, but definitely fun, and definitely very, very funny. Like, there's lots of jokes in this movie that will really get you. And as far as, like, gross out humor goes, it's mostly special effects. Like, there's not a whole lot of, like, really gross stuff happening involving animals or stuff like that. It's more or less just, like, really well done special effects, like, especially with Mckenry, and lots of very garish makeup and costuming. Like, the ugly expert was truly put to a task when it came to this movie.
Find 'em, peel 'em, suck 'em, forget 'em. Is that your new motto?
And there are some ugly costumes in this. Now, let me know down below what you guys think about Desperate Living. Honestly, and as far as like the John Waters canon goes, I know it might sound weird coming from me, but like how I didn't enjoy polyester, I actually really, really, really enjoy Desperate Living. But I think it's also because I really love Liz Renee, and she truly does come front and center when it comes to this movie. Like, definitely check it out. Now, let me know what you guys thought about down below if you did watch it, and please, I'm dying to hear it. Let's have a discussion. I freaking love this movie, and it's one of my favorites from the Trash trilogy. Honestly, I usually choose it before Female Trouble, to be honest with you. Like, I do enjoy it a lot more. I don't know why. Like, I just kind of do. It hits the notes for me. All right. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all in the next one, okay? Bye! Well, it's over now. Click my next YouTube video. Like, comment, and subscribe.